let's dive in.
So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the terror's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place.
In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Moon of infinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hey everyone, welcome in. I hope you guys are having a great evening. I just want to preface this that I will not be on very long tonight. I was on for a while yesterday and I'm not doing so hot today. So it'll probably only be about an hour or so. I just recommend you guys get your donations in as soon as you can, because I will be shutting it down. But regardless of that, I will be doing free readings tonight for the next 10 minutes or so. And then we'll move on to donations after that. Hey, sweeter. That sounds good. I'll let you know once I get that donation. Hey, Ari, welcome in. Hopefully you guys are having a good night. All right, so first on the list, we have Ray. If you have a question that you would like to ask for free, just drop it in the chat and make sure it's a yes or no format. All right, this is for Ray. Ray, I have a yes. This looks like either Leo or Capricorn energy potentially. So if that resonates, take that message. But I am getting a yes. This is for Precious. I have a yes for you, Precious. I have the Page of Swords. You're welcome, Ray. It doesn't have to be a sun sign either. It can just be like personality wise, like certain characteristics of that. Or it could just be a highly influenced sign in their chart, which Bodhi, get down. Hold on. Sorry, my cat was somewhere he wasn't supposed to be. For Ray, it could also be a highly influential sign as well in their birth chart, which if you don't have their birth chart information, like where they're born and the time and all of that, that might be hard to figure out. So Ari. You're welcome, Precious. Ari, I have a yes. This is Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo energy. Sweeter. You're welcome, Ari. It was Page of Wands, Ari. Sweeter. Ooh, I'm getting a no for you, girl. I have the Four of Swords and the Death card. Mental stress or feeling overwhelmed. Four of Swords. Maybe he's not in a good headspace right now. Stiana. Sienna, yes. Two of Cups. Oh. Is it due to death by chance? Because after I pulled your card, the death card came out as well. Or it could be some kind of like transformation of some sort. But yeah, he seems overwhelmed right now. He's not in a good headspace. Okay, that makes sense. That's so interesting. Yeah, the death card flew out too. And I almost said it. But I was like, nah, I was like, because I can take, they're both no cards. So I was like, I can take the information based off of the one card that I got. But the death card was there too. So interesting. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's very, very tough. Sweeter, I got your donation. Thank you. Just a reminder, if you wanted to get a reading tonight, donate early. I won't be on very long this evening. All of my prices are in the description list. We do have a donation list going at this time, but it doesn't look super, super long. So I don't think you guys will be waiting a very long time or anything as of right now. And regardless, you wouldn't be waiting a long time anyways, because I'm not going to be here for a long time tonight. So get those in if you don't want to wait too long. Last night, I know we had quite a long list going. Sweeter, that makes me happy to hear. Yeah, it seems like he's just taking some time isolating himself right now. Maybe spending just a lot of time quiet in his room or in his house. Maybe trying to get some rest, even sleeping in his bed. I don't know. That's what it feels like to me. All right. We got 2 more minutes of the free list, and we'll be moving on to donations. So if you have a yes/no question you'd like to ask, just drop it in the chat, and I will answer it for you. This is why you keep the secret till you find out. You get blood work done, so you're waiting for them to let you know. Oh, wow, sweeter. Yeah. Oh, wait, we have talked about this. Oh my God, we have talked about this. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot that you told me that he lost his cousin. Yes, no, I remember. I remember talking about this. Yeah, I think that's probably for the best, sweeter. Once we have confirmation, then I think you can do with that information what you will. But yeah, I think I had said something like just make sure you know for sure, because that could be if you get his hopes up, that could also feel like a loss if it ends up not happening. And I was like, I don't want him to go through like a feeling of another loss until you know for sure. So yeah, no, I do remember. Oh my goodness. Well, we will see, but the crazy things have happened where that's, if you get a positive test, there could be some kind of soul connection there for your child. Maybe meeting the cousin in the spirit realm or something like that first. I don't know, it's interesting. We'll have to see, but there could be some kind of significance there. Maybe he'll feel closer to his cousin or something after. And see. Yeah, I'm sorry that he's going through that. That's so difficult. And see, maybe, but I'm getting most likely not. We have the 2 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. There's something about options here. Either you have options or TP has options. So I'm not getting that anything is set in stone at this time. Go Records, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. I have a yes, Queen of Pentacles for Go Records. You're welcome. All right, guys, that is the end of the free list. We are going to go ahead and get started on our donations. Eliana, if you're here, friend, go ahead and let us know what your question is. Bria Chantel, you got in just in time. Bria Chantel, will you be good at your job? Will you be good at your job? Yes, Seven of Pentacles. This is something that you'll invest in for like over time. So this is like maybe a job that's going to be like the building block or the stepping stone for you for your career. Also indicates to me that maybe the success will be little, but like day by day, but in the end, like it's going to have a big impact. Kind of like that expression, the days are long, but the years are short kind of thing. Like I think you're going to see like great success over a span of time rather than like immediately. And I am getting a yes for your question, okay? Gunner, what? Oh my God, Mike! I don't know what's going on with my cats these days. They're like, oh my goodness gracious. You said yes, day by day. I agree. Training's 11 weeks. You're welcome. Sent for a mini and an in-depth. Perfect. All right, Eliana, let me know which one you want to do first. I've got to go take care of my cats real quick because they're just gonna. I don't know what's going on, but my one cat is like this week, he's hyper focused on chewing on cords. Like he gets in these moods where he just focuses on that, and I'm afraid he's gonna get electrocuted. So I've got to go put him in his room before he does something crazy. All right, come on, guys. Come on. Come on. You were searching the comments for a Gunner. Did you think I was doing a reading for a Gunner? Oh my God, that's so funny. Nope, Gunner is my child. See, the thing is that he knows that at night before bed he gets a little snack, and sometimes he wants to snack early. And he has learned that if he misbehaves, then we will go ahead and put him to bed early, which means he gets a snack when he wants it. So if we're not, he wants to be tucked into bed. He like has a whole routine. And if we like, he knows how to get us to get his, like he knows how to get his treats basically from us. And it's not a behavior that we tried to implement because we didn't want to reward bad behavior, but he's very smart and he knows how to get his way. And somehow we realized what he was actually doing was manipulating us by getting into things, knowing that we would get annoyed if we kept having to tell him to stop, and we'd eventually put him to bed, i.e. get a snack. So now that's what he's doing when he doesn't feel like waiting, when he's bored, when he wants his treat. He's like getting into everything. And that's kind of how he's programmed himself to think, if I get in trouble, I get a snack. So we're having to like reprogram him, I guess, and not always give him food like whenever we go back there or like a little treat. So anyways, he's just silly. He's a very silly cat. So, you know, he's not normally going to quote unquote bed for another hour, but I guess he decided snack time's coming early, so I had to go put him in his room. All right, so let's do Eliana's mini real quick. Oh, and I've got your in-depth question. Very smart cat. Very, very smart cat. And then his brother will just like let him get into trouble, but it's like his form of entertainment. So he'll just watch him getting into trouble. And if I don't say anything about it, then he thinks, okay, I'm in the clear. Mom says this is fine. And I'm just like, y'all are just, and then Gunnar will get in trouble and Bodhi will be like, it wasn't me. Like, I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was him. But he was right there alongside him, just maybe not actually in the act. So my sister said she wants me to get a reading from an animal psychic to tell me about like what they're thinking and feeling. And I'm like, I already know. I know them like the back of my hand. I already know what they're thinking and feeling. I know them better than they know themselves. All right, Mike's current energy towards Eliana. Mike's current energy towards Eliana. I know, right? You have pretty good cards this time around. Like, and by good cards, I just mean generally positive. Two of Wands in reverse tells me that he still feels some type of restriction and is very aware that you guys are having a lack of activity, like a lack of communication or a lack of engagement or something like that. And it's a Two of Wands in reverse. So this indicates that he's aware that he needs to do something in order for this to change. He does feel like he kind of failed you or the connection or both. And this is because of a lot to do with like his own fears. You might be not checking in, you might be tapping in a little bit to his energy. You know, he's very much a indecisive type of person. You might have found when you guys were still talking actively, all that you might have been kind of the one taking the lead a little bit. Now, that's not to say that he didn't also, but more likely you kind of felt like maybe you were the one pushing it along. And I feel like he allows his bad habits and he allows the unhealed parts of himself to get in the way of this connection. But I do feel there is a certain ownership, I suppose, that he is taking and he is admitting to himself. Will he admit to you is the question. But I feel like you are working more towards a positive thing. The thing about him that I'm picking up is that he might come 60% towards you, but he would want you to come like the other 40 or something. So, for example, in order for him to admit his fault to you, which he would, I think, I feel like he still would want to hear from you as well. Like, so if he says, I'm really sorry for this, this, and that, like, I thought about it and it's just really not the right way to handle things, he would then expect you, Eliana, to apologize for your part of things. And if you didn't, he would feel slighted. So he would want you to say something like, I'm sorry at the way that I approached it. If there's a better way for me to address these things with you, please let me know. He would feel that that wasn't sufficient enough. But for some reason, he needs, like, if he was like, I'm sorry, and he meant it, but he's like, I'm sorry, and you were like, I accept your apology, it's fine, he would be so offended by that. He would be like, wow, she's really gonna let me take the full blame for this. Like, that's what I mean. I feel like he needs to hear you also say something to the effect that you were remorseful. And so that's kind of his energy. It doesn't mean he's not going to apologize, but he needs to hear that it's not just his fault. I don't really know what to do with that information, but that's what I'm getting. He's like looking for like a collaborative repairing of your connection. He's looking for you both to admit you were wrong. I don't know why he needs to feel like he's not solely responsible, but yeah, that's there. So we also have the Lovers and we have the Ace of Wands. His attraction to you, the chemistry that he felt, that has not gone away. I do feel like he's very used to basically like whatever will be, will be. I don't think he's, I don't know. I don't feel it's hard to say. Like, I think the only reason he would take action and like change that mindset of whatever happens, happens is just because it's you. That's what I have to say. I feel like if he changes his ways, if he decides, like the King of Swords here, like, I'm going to go ahead and just be direct and I'm going to take accountability, it's really because it's you, Eliana. I don't think that he'd be doing this for anybody else, because he's very much like, I'm good, I'm unbothered, like, you know, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. If not, like, I don't see him really being the type of person to really fight for something, especially if he feels like he's not 100% to blame, or maybe even especially if he knows he's to blame, because he's has a hard time taking that ownership. But yeah, that's his energy right now. I think is more like, I know I should apologize. I know that I failed her. I know that I handled things the wrong way. In the moment, I didn't know that it was wrong. In the moment, I thought I was saying the right thing. But in the end, I realized that that was not the right thing to do, but it's always worked for me before, so I just assumed that it was going to work this time as well. I still feel attraction for her. I still feel chemistry for her. You know, I want to say that if we're meant to be, we'll come back together, but there is this like feeling on him that he does know that he has to take some kind of accountability because you're different. So let me know if you have any questions about that before we move on. Yeah, you're willing to meet him halfway, but you're not taking the full blame. Right, definitely. And also, he needs to be the one to come forward. Like, okay, he comes 50%, you will too, but he needs to be the one to make the first move. He told you that he doesn't force things. Yep. Yeah, that's definitely it. What's coming towards you the rest of the month? Take a look. Yeah, he does. He does. And the thing is if it's you, Eliana, there's no lesson. There will be no lesson learned for him. So you have to let him and force him basically to be the person to make the first move. After Eliana, we're working on another reading for her that she donated for. It will be Sweeter's turn, and then it will be Deep's turn after that. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you're letting him. Yeah, I know. Slight progress, right? All right, so you've got the Eight of Cups in reverse, and you also have the Devil. So, what that's telling me is that there's some kind of release, some type of purge, some type of like accepting your lot and saying it is what it is and like moving forward. So, this could be a mindset that you're trying to shift away from like old habits and ways of thinking. This could be a person that you're deciding to just let go of and like say, I'm not gonna really do much with that because it's not working. This could also be maybe a project that you had in mind that maybe it's not working out very well. It's not getting the traction it needs. Maybe it's you should just like let go and try to move on to something else, or put it maybe to the side, like put it on the back burner, maybe come back to it later. So there's just that energy here of like you kind of adopting his mindset, actually, like not forcing things and just saying like I gotta let it go. Now I do see here what I feel like again is collaboration in some way. It's not the Three of Pentacles, but it's the energy of you might be like working alongside someone else, might be teaming up, or might be collaborating with someone else this month, where you feel like it might help boost sales or boost followers or subscribers, or it might be I don't know, there's just what feels like to be some type of collaboration for you. So it feels business related, but yeah, I'm getting like collaboration. And then we also have the Ace of Pentacles, which makes me feel like a bit of a bump in your money that maybe you weren't expecting, or maybe an idea comes to you and you take that inspiration and find that it did help a little bit, make some extra money for yourself this month. Oh, okay. You're working with your manifesting coach to manifest more business. That's awesome. Oh, wait, I missed another comment. You had said over the weekend you felt the craziest pull towards him, but you know it could be possible that he was manifesting in his own kind of way. Yeah, Eliana, it's so weird. Like us highly sensitives, we can tell when someone's in our energy. And you know what's really annoying is when we don't think of them, like they're thinking about us quite a bit and we're not thinking about them literally at all. And so then they're like, okay, well, if you're not going to return the energy that I'm putting on you, I'm just going to show up in your dreams. Like that happens quite a bit. I just go off like living my own life. And like I notice that there's certain people that just keep coming back. And I know that it's not me. I know that it's them because I don't think about these people like hardly ever. And if they do, it's crossing my mind. It's not like something I'm dwelling on. And so these people will, you'll notice like, okay, they're pulling on your energy a little bit. And then you're like, and you're not paying any mind, and they'll show up in your dreams. And then if nothing happens with that, then you'll start seeing their name everywhere. You know, like it'll just kind of snowball into this thing where you're just like, oh my God, like leave me alone. And we're in tune to it so we can see when it's happening. So yeah, it's it's crazy being a highly sensitive. Now I do have Judgment here, Eliana. So this feels like an apology that you will be getting this month. Now it talks about offering some type of clarity and making you feel like you are understanding another perspective. But the Judgment for me also is essentially just allowing forgiveness for yourself, not forgiving yourself, but allowing yourself to forgive maybe some other person for the sake of you not wanting it to poison you. You know what I mean? You know how they say like not forgiving someone or having anger towards someone is like poisoning yourself. So they're saying like again, that's another purge, like another release that's happening this month. But I do think it comes in the form of an apology. You have a lot of momentum in this month when it comes to different opportunities coming your way. We have the Knight of Swords. What other momentum does she have? Momentum when it comes to your ideas, your breakthroughs. I think a lot of inspiration is coming in for you. So if you get an idea, like something to make a video about, or something like a product, or something to invent, or a different angle on something in your business, write these things down because I feel like a lot of inspiration is coming in for you this month. It's saying that your hard work is paying off. So maybe that's just like a little nod on your manifestations, just confirmation you're on the right track. I also realized that the Ace of Cups was sticking behind the Eight of Wands. So this is also like momentum in your love life as well this month. So feeling like successful and accomplished with the world, maybe finding a good balance here. They're also talking about physical and emotional health. So you just being like all's well that ends well. Lots of messages about reaching your goals. Maybe checking some things off your list this month. Maybe some things that you have been putting off that you're like, I don't know why I keep putting this off. It's really not that hard, but for some reason I just can't tackle it mentally, or it's not something that I want to do. Maybe you go ahead and just do it. You just are like, you know what? It's been hanging over my head. I'm just need to get it done. You said you had 2 mics come into your channel for the first time ever. Yeah, that's what I mean. Hey, IJ. Yeah, the list is still open. You'll probably be my last one. You're going to get a love reading? Wow, that's crazy. You have to get back to working out. I heard that in my mind. I was like, I think she needs to do something like with her physical body. It doesn't feel intense though, Eliana, for this month as far as your physical health. It feels like sorry, I lost my train of thought. It feels like slow movement. It feels like slow, intentional movement. Like you're thinking to yourself, it's not about this month. I'm not trying to achieve anything. I'm not trying to lose inches. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm just trying to incorporate more movement into my day. Maybe extra couple thousand steps, or Pilates, or yoga, stretching. This month, the health and wellness is more about intentional movement rather than really feeling like you are going, oh, I gotta close the list. I just saw James donated. I gotta go. All right, let me close the list really quickly. Jeez Louise. All right, so list is closed now, guys. Let me update the list in just a second and just bear with me. I will do that. So Eliana. So for you, Eliana, I can do up to 3 readings in a row. So it's really up to you if you want me to go ahead and do yours now. Or I can just do Sweeter first and then I can do you right after. It's up to you. Let me know. James, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. You're not too late. The list was not closed. I just didn't know you were going to come on tonight, and I told IJ he was probably going to be my last one of the night because I didn't plan on being on for very long. But that's okay. That's okay. I don't want you to stress about that. It was surprising to me. It was surprising. So yeah, Eliana, just let me know what you want to do. And then let me update the list really quickly. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do yours now. All right, so Eliana, we're finishing her up right now. And then we have Sweeter, and then we have Deep, IJ, and James. Sweeter, Deep, IJ, and James. And then that's going to be it for the night, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. All right, so let's do a mini love for the rest of the month. Mini love for the rest of the month. Eliana, do you know what Mike's sign is? Or what his chart ruler is? Like, what his rising sign is? Like, do you have any information on that at all? Okay. So the reason I asked was because I've got two men here for you this month. One is a fire sign and one is a water sign. Maybe even three, because we do have earth energy here as well. Leo, Virgo, cusp. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay. So probably two, but maybe three. But I see two people. We have a King of Wands and we also have a King of Cups. So what's really jumping out at me right now is, oh God, I feel like, I feel spirit. I feel spirit. I feel Eliana, spirit is wanting me to tell you, you are going to need to really shake things up, like, for yourself in your love life. Like, they want you to go for someone you're obviously attracted to, because, like, that's the whole point, right? You want to be attracted to the person you're dating, but they want you to not go for your usual type. Like they want you to think outside of the box. They're basically saying everything that you've been going for is just not working for you. And it's like falling short. And so they're saying that you have a specific type of person that you're going for, whether that's like looks or personality or energy, I'm not quite sure, but they're like, she needs to get outside of that. Like she can still find what she's looking for, but making it so that it's still different. So I have the Tower here, and this is the card of like needing to let go of. No, you did not. You pulled two cards and they were a King of Wands and a King of Cups. Girl. So like what they're saying is that you're like prioritizing certain things and what you're looking for, and you're just like kind of falling into the same pattern of like you're kind of running into the same type of person in a different body. And the Tower here is saying like you've got to shake things up. You've got to like let go of certain ideals or certain expectations that you have on the type of person that this is going to be and start like looking outside of that. So maybe that's stop finding people the way you've been finding them. Like for example, if you always meet guys through your friends, maybe stop doing that. If you only meet them online, maybe stop doing that. Find other ways to like meet people because what you've been doing isn't working. And then they're also saying, if that doesn't seem quite right, if you're kind of like, nah, like I really switch it up. Sometimes it's family that introduces, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's dating apps, whatever. I feel like they're saying, okay, well then your romantic partner is going to be different from your usual type. So it doesn't mean you're not going to be attracted. It does not mean that you're not going to have all your boxes checked. Just saying that you have to kind of dismantle this idea of what you're looking for and what kind of person that package is going to come in. So you could say, oh, I'm really into artistic types. I like people who like really have a creative side. You might find what you're looking for in a very analytical type of person. Like, I don't know. I hope I'm making sense at what I'm saying. So find whatever commonalities is how you've been finding people. Figure out what the common denominator is and maybe don't go that route anymore for now or at all. Because they're basically saying like you have to challenge what you're used to. I have the Hierophant in reverse. So it's saying like challenge what your patterns are, like challenging tradition, like what you traditionally do, don't do that, and like go for something unconventional. Maybe something that you're not. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. That's basically the message for you. Is that maybe you're looking left and your person's standing on the right of you, I cannot believe that you pulled the same cards as me. That's what's crazy. Maybe that's confirmation for you. What's funny is Mike checked off all the good boxes until the disagreement happened. Now you're like, okay, we need to turn up the heat because we're almost there. Girl, funny, the last 3 people you semi knew before. Okay. And last year you literally said no one on social media. Yeah, makes sense. The only difference is that Mike was the one that came after you. Okay, good. Because you do have 2 men here. One is probably Mike, and then I think there's another one. So we've got to shake things up, you know what I mean? That's wild. That's so wild. So that's your message, my love. Let me know if you have any questions about that. You know what you need, Eliana, too? You need someone who's not afraid of finishing what they started. Like, I think you never have a problem with someone wanting to date you, hook up with you, be with you, spend time with you. But it's like you need a finisher, Like you need someone who's a follows through, who like sees things through. You keep meeting like these 7 of Pentacles in reverse, like someone who starts and doesn't finish what they start with you. Yeah, you're very welcome. Okay, so, and Eliana, thank you too. I appreciate you as well. All right, next up we have Sweeter. Sweeter, we have you down for a mini. Let me know if you're here, please. Said, have a good night. I need a man who's going to be in their masculine energy all the time, not just when it's beneficial. Ooh, you need to make a post about that. I really like that. I like how you worded that. That's totally true. Not just when it's beneficial to them to be in their masculine, not just when it's convenient for them. They need to be willing to be in their masculine like most of the time so that you can do what you need to do and what your divine purpose is and not feel like you have to be the one to carry the relationship. I love that. Okay, sweeter. All right, that is the list now. We are working on sweeter. So what I can do for your question, sweeter, is I can pull cards and sense the energy and like spiritually what I'm getting. Because it is borderline like a medical question, which I try to stay away from. Like if medical stuff comes through, I will tell you, but I don't feel good doing that. However, I do I'm gonna type it. So I just typed in something in quotations. I do those. So that's why it feels kind of like a mix. I feel like something I can do. It's not too medical. It's more like on the other side. So let's go ahead and shuffle here. Thank you, girl. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna tap into the energy real quick here. All right. Do we see it? Do we see it? You know what? I'm getting a lot of no's. I'm getting a lot of no's for this question. I don't know what you're hopeful for. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting a no. I'm getting a no. I really am. Now, this doesn't mean that your test result is not going to be positive, okay? It doesn't mean that it's not going to be, but it might mean that you're like holding off, like holding this information in for a while. Maybe you get the information that you have and you decide I'm not going to say anything right away. I also see a situation where, let's say the results come back negative. You aren't going to say anything right away, but I think you do eventually let him in on that information. But for whatever reason, as far as like needing to tell the results, needing to have that conversation, it doesn't feel like now is the time to have that conversation. There's just like a lot of no cards here. Maybe you just feel like it's not the right time. Maybe you're like, maybe anytime you go to have this conversation, you're noticing from him he's just not in the right headspace to have this conversation. Like that's what I'm picking up on is like you're just like I don't know when is the right time. Because you feel like not that you'd be burdening him, but you also feel like, is this selfish of me? Is this selfish of me to drop this on him right now? Like, am I doing this for me to make myself feel better? Or is this what he needs right now? Is this the smart thing? Maybe you keep planning on saying something. You're like, okay, I'll tell him tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and you're like, God, he's still not mentally available for this. Like, I don't know. I'm just feeling a lot of postponement at a minimum, and I'm getting like a lot of no cards right now. I feel though you want to have this conversation. Like I feel very strongly that you're like, I want to talk to him about this. I really do. But you're trying very, very hard to consider him on all fronts. You're trying hard to like say, if roles were reversed, like would this be something I could handle right now? And so it's like I really, really feel like you're like, I don't know what to do. I see with the Seven of Cups just like a lot of like different thought processes, and you're really trying to just take things one step at a time. You're like, okay, I went and did this, now we're waiting. Now that I've got this, now what do I do? I feel like it's really just like taking each day as it comes for you. But I feel like you keep thinking, okay, today's the day. I'll have this conversation, just let him know what happened. And then it's like, no, now I can't, because I feel like he's not open to this. He's not receptive to this. So in a lot of ways, you feel silenced, you feel restricted, but I feel like regardless of the outcome, you want to tell him like what is happening, but feeling as though you have to keep pushing it back for his benefit, because you don't want to be impulsive, and also you care about his reaction. And so you're trying to set yourself up for as much success with his reaction as you can get. Here's what I will say. I do believe that no matter what the results are, you will be having a conversation with him to let him know what has happened. It just doesn't feel like it just doesn't feel like an immediate conversation. It feels like an eventually. It feels like a delay or a postponement. That's really the energy that I'm pulling for you right now. But I think regardless of what happens, he will eventually find out. You will eventually have a conversation either way and be like, hey, by the way, just letting you know this happened. I didn't feel like at the time you were ready to have that conversation, but I also feel like I owe it to you to tell you XYZ. I think that if it comes back positive, I think you're going to be like, okay, now I know what to do, but I still think you're going to keep like pushing it back and pushing it back. I really, really do. I think whatever you expect, like whenever you expect to have that conversation, you change your mind. You chicken out, and you think, not chicken out, but like you get what I mean. You like have cold feet about it. Like you decide, okay, well, what's one more day? What's one more week? What's one more whatever? So yeah, that's the energy. We can definitely look into this like after you get the results back and see if anything has shifted. But for me, it's a no, I guess. At least that's what I'm getting. I clarified. I got multiple no's here. I think you're trying to handle this like as maturely as you possibly can. You're trying to be as considerate as you possibly can. Does that help at all? You said yes, and it's hard. Well, I cut the deck and I have Temperance, which talks about time will heal everything. Time will heal all wounds. It talks about having balance. It talks about serenity, calmness, not making haste, like really thinking through things. So I think just go with your gut on this one. Like just If you don't feel like it's the right time, then just hold off, because this is such an important conversation. You're going to want to make sure that it's at the best circumstances as it can be, with everything considered. Yeah, no, I understand. I understand it. You're kind of between a rock and a hard place. I think once you get your results, you're going to feel like a lot more decided about this. I do see a conversation eventually about this. Like I said, whichever way this goes, you're not going to withhold this information from him forever. But it just feels like you don't want to be insensitive either. And you also don't want him to feel like you're the only one making this decision. Like you're determining what he can and can't handle. Like you don't want to do that. You want him to be able to do that. You want him to make that decision because you feel like it's not fair for you to decide what he can do and what he can handle and what he can process at this time, that you feel that's not your place. But at the same time, you want to be sensitive to what's going on. So then I think once the results come back, you can determine the sense of urgency behind if that conversation needs to happen right now or if it needs to happen later, or if it can wait. You're welcome, sweeter. I hope that helps. If anything, I hope just confirms like what you have been feeling inside. Mm-hmm. All right, Deep is up next. Hey, hey. Career message. On how to deal with the people at work right now. Were you able to go to management and report your problems that you're having yet, or are you holding off? So the first message that's coming through is each person that you're having issues with. Okay, I'm glad you talked to HR. Depending on who you're having issues with, each person is going to require something different from you. So like maybe you have to kind of ignore one person and just basically keep your head down and do what you've got to do. And then maybe another person is the type of personality that needs you to be direct with them and call them out on it, and then maybe another person needs you to go to HR. Like, I feel like what they're saying is that depending on the situation, if there's multiple people involved that you are having issues with, it's not just one person, that each person you need to handle each one individually, like not group them all together, because there's different levels, there's different factors involved, there's different maybe titles. Okay, so each situation you can't streamline this. is what they're saying. It can't just be like you handle it the same way with each individual. It needs to be catered to that specific situation and handled, appropriately according to that. So depending, again, how many people are involved and how many people you are having problems with, take that into account. Now, I think it's a good thing that you talk to HR, but I'm trying to figure out, like, have they helped you? Have they contributed to try to make some changes for you or make this a more, like, a better workplace environment? I got it. Yeah. 2 different people, 2 different solutions. Exactly. You got it. I feel like you're dealing with a very childish person. Very, very childish. We have the Sun and we have the 6 of Cups. This talks about children. This talks about someone who could have a very, like, immature sense of like how they conduct themselves. Also, a weird message coming in is if it's a feminine energy, they could be having, this is such a weird thing to say. If one of these people is a woman, there's either hormonal issues going on with this person, or maybe pregnancy, depending on like their age or whatever. But there's just like an interesting message about this. If it's a feminine energy, there is something to do with like a hormone imbalance. And again, I could be completely way off base, but like that's the message that I'm getting. So it's like, it could be menopause, it could be pregnancy, I don't know, but it's like, there's definitely some type of imbalance going on here, maybe a thyroid issue. Truthfully, I don't know, but like, that's the message. So it's like, in a sense, yes, you can feel offended and you can feel frustrated and you could be like, hey, what the hell? Like, this is messed up. But at the same time, like, I want you to know, like, she's got other issues going on. Feels kind of like health stuff. Chemical thing going on with her. She's too old to be pregnant, but menopause is part of it. Okay, yeah, because I was like, I feel like it's older. That's why I said menopause, but at the same time, I was like, if she's child age, like, or having a child, she could also be having issues with her children too. That's like affecting her work if she has children. I'm just trying to think of all the different interpretations that this could be. Appreciating you documenting things is very important. I know that we talked about that before, but that way you can have some type of like, hey, this happened, and showing a pattern of incidents, so to speak. I feel with the woman, you want to do your best by kind of staying independent. I know that there's a masculine energy as well, like a man. That person things need to be handled head on with that person. That person needs, again, like HR needs to get involved. Things need to be handled very directly with that person. Things need to be nipped in the bud with him. With the woman, though, it's more like keeping to yourself, because I feel like what she's wanting is to get a rise out of you. So if you show reaction, if you don't keep yourself head down, focused on work, if you show a reaction to her, you're just giving her more of what it is she wants, more of what she's looking for. So with the woman, they're saying try to keep things independent from her. And like, don't feed into her trying to trigger you. She seems kind of like, what's the word? Oh my God, there's a word. There's a word for when someone feels very alone and they're a shrew. Is that the word? I don't know. It's like someone who's feeling like very alone, very bitter. Yeah, unpleasant woman. Bad-tempered, scolding, argumentative. It says it's offensive. It's like a slur. But basically that's what it feels like. And then also, I'm hearing spinster, and now I know a lot of times spinster just means someone who doesn't have kids, someone who isn't married, and they're older, not necessarily like a widow or anything, but like just someone who just really just stayed as single as possible. So it feels like to me there's personal issues going on. She feels very isolated herself. She's very unhappy. She probably doesn't have a partner, and if she does, she makes his life miserable. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse, which just talks about like she doesn't feel like very desired as a friend, desired as a love partner. She's married and wealthy but miserable. Okay. She feels very isolated and very alone. She does not feel like she's in love, like the person that she's with is in love with her. She doesn't feel desired by them. There's disharmony, incompatibility. I do think that she has, like, she wants to make other people feel inferior to her by making herself, that will make herself feel better. So she might be trying to put other people down as well. So yeah. There's something to do with her feeling like she's not fulfilling or feeling fulfillment. So she's having issues maybe with her marriage. She's has trouble with kids. There's the word trouble and the word kids are around her. So maybe she doesn't have a good relationship with her children. Maybe she never was able to have children. But regardless, like that's definitely a stain on her soul, so to speak. She's feeling maybe some type of way about her age and getting older and feeling like unfulfilled. So yeah, she needs, the way you handle her, it just needs to be different. It needs to be like, just try to ignore her. Of course you can report that stuff as well to the higher ups, but the less you engage with her, the better, honestly. You said you felt that about her too. Yeah, she's a piece of work. That's for sure. But yeah, they're saying that you're going to have to handle, each person accordingly. It's not a like one size fits all. Hopefully that helps you. Let me know if you have any questions about that. You're very welcome, Culture. Have a great night. Thank you for stopping in. All right, next up is IJ. We have an in-depth reading for IJ. In depth to Natalia's feelings about you. Okay. And James, if you're in here, if you want to post your questions, I'll go ahead and get started. If it's a channeled message like usual, then I can go ahead and get started on that. But if you're ready to post your questions, definitely go ahead and do that. All right. So Natalia's feelings. Wow. She has a lot of, like, kind of, like, objectively looking at these cards. The first card out's the Four of Wands. It's a great card. I'm just going to say that. We'll get back to that in a second. But she did come through with the Ten of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Five of Pentacles. This is like a very heavy, like, more negative energy. And so I don't know if she's feeling discouraged and she's feeling like she is not going to be able to maybe do what she wants to do with this connection right now. The Ten of Swords is like a dead end. It's like feeling like this just isn't working out the way that I want it to, and I don't know what to do about it. The Three of Swords is like, again, very heavy. It's like talking about how feels like she's breaking her own heart. And then like the Five of Pentacles talks about like a hardship for her, feeling like things just aren't working out for her, feeling like the world is against you, struggle. She's not having good luck here. And this could indicate like a temporary situation for her, but it does feel ultimately like a setback in some way when it comes to your connection for her. And it's like just feeling like very discouraged, very disappointed. It doesn't, and I want to be clear, it doesn't mean she's feeling that way towards you. It just means that when she thinks about this connection, she's having these types of feelings. Don't quite understand. I can't connect the dots here. I don't know why she's having those feelings. Let's get back to the Four of Wands. So, like, the Four of Wands is the first card out, okay? So this talks about taking things to the next level, commitment. It talks about uniting with you, coming together with you, feeling like you guys are in union and working together, feeling a sense of camaraderie, being a couple, community, commitment, things like that. And then right after it is like these disappointing cards. So it almost makes me feel like she feels some type of setback in her personal life that is affecting maybe your relationship or your connection or her connection with you in terms of, moving forward. You said you think work and family stuff is taking a toll on her. She can get in her head easily and a lot. Yeah. It feels, I want to say it feels temporary, but it feels like it feels big. Like I don't know how else to explain that. It doesn't feel like this is going to be forever thing, but it feels big. It feels like this is like really putting a damper on things for her, and it's like making her feel like her life was going in one direction and now she feels like she has to completely rearrange everything. And it's pushing her further away from her objective. It's pushing her further away from what she wants to actually do. And maybe what she actually wants to do with you. So now here's the thing. I do feel like she still has hope for your connection. She has hope that she will be with you. She has hope that you guys will start dating. And she feels like this isn't the end all be all. This whatever this negative thing is not going to like be detrimental to your relationship. It's not like the Tower or something, but she feels like it is a setback. She feels like it is a delay. and it is frustrating to her, but she does feel like it's eventually going to be over, which I think is why I was picking up the temporary word. Like, it feels impactful, it feels big, but it doesn't feel like it's something that's going to like completely derail everything. It just feels like a setback. It feels like it's something that maybe she was excited, maybe she was like, okay, yeah, I'm getting all these things done, and I really want to start dating this year. I really want to put myself out there, and maybe by summer, I don't know, maybe by summer I can like have someone, and I can maybe be in a relationship by then or something, maybe start going on some dates in the next month or two or whatever. And I feel like she doesn't feel like that's possible to happen as quickly. Now, I still feel like because of the Five of Swords is in reverse, so it's like she's looking for ways to end this conflict. She's looking for a resolution. She's trying to solve it. And I do feel like she doesn't want she's tired of carrying the burden alone. Old crone, that's so funny culture. Yeah, there you go. There's another one. She is kind of tired of like having to carry everything on her own back. So I think that she has learned, she has learned that not everything should land on her and be her responsibility to take care of, because she tends to take more responsibility for other people than she should. So I do think she's learning from that. So instead of trying to let this completely take her under, I think she's going, okay, well, this particular situation I used to take responsibility for, but I'm not going to do that. I will be putting the responsibility back on that person. I will be delegating this, and that. So it, again, like I said, it feels like a temporary thing. It feels like a delay, but it doesn't feel like it's completely ruining what you guys are building together. I think in her mind, when it comes to you, she wants to kind of... It feels like she wants to let things naturally unfold, but she does hope that the end goal is commitment, okay? So she's not putting all her eggs in your basket, but she is saying, if all goes well, if all goes how I think it will go, he is someone I really would like to see, us get to that point together. It just like... Now that I'm out of the reading, because that was your message, from an outside perspective, I wish that she would just go there with you, and I wish that she would understand that you would carry that burden with her. Like, you would... Like, for whatever reason, she feels like she has to have all this stuff in order before I can be in a relationship. And I kind of wish that she could just see that's not what relationships are. Relationships are so that you can go through life with your person. So that way you don't feel like you have to carry the burden alone. Like, that's literally the point of a relationship. So I wish that she would stop feeling like she has to be so perfect and like all this stuff has to be just so. I wish she would just say, you know what, screw it. Life is going to keep happening. That's life. And would I rather do this alone, or would I rather do it with a partner? And I feel like she just kind of has to shift that mindset onto herself and not feel like she's responsible for everything and like the weight of the world is on her shoulders. Like, from an outside observation, I wish she would just give you a chance. I wish she would just like go on a date with you, and I wish that she would see like, hey, this isn't so bad, maybe I can do it all. She's just she's hyper aware of like cause and effect and reciprocation, and I think from her perspective she feels it wouldn't be fair to you, but she just kind of needs to like get over that and let you make that decision, because Like, you're your own person, and she shouldn't, as I was kind of telling Sweeter earlier, like, she shouldn't take that decision away from you. Like, you can decide what you can and cannot handle. But I feel like she's worried that if she does something too quickly, she's going to jeopardize the relationship, because she doesn't know exactly what you'd be willing to handle and what you wouldn't be. And she doesn't want to risk starting something prematurely if you find that it's annoying or it's too much or whatever. So, yeah, that's tough. You said you feel that she does, and you talked about finding more balance. Yeah. Ugh, it's such a struggle. I wish like sometimes these women would just like know that you're there to like support. Like that's like the whole thing. Like what is the point of a relationship? What is literally the fundamental point is to do life together. That's it. It's literally to create, to co-create, to collaborate, to be there for each other, to pick up the slack, to not feel alone, to feel like you like have someone you can lean on when times get hard, celebrate with when times are good, share responsibilities. Like, but the fundamental truth of a relationship and the reason you have it is to do life together. And I think sometimes people have this like mentality is, oh, I've got to have a better job before I do that. I've got to like make this kind of money before I do. I have to have a house before I can sit. Like they always feel it has to be this certain order. I don't know if that's how they were raised. I don't know if this is systemic. Like this is the way they were conditioned. If this is society, I truth be told have no idea. But I just feel like it's very, very sad that people feel this way. Like people think that you won't be accepted. I mean, what do they think? Like it, unless the relationship is absolutely perfect, like you're gonna not end up together. Like I feel like some people just have to give other people more credit. And when I do readings like this, I see this person, I see Natalia just spinning herself in a web. You know, she's doing tailspin. She's burning herself out, spinning around in circles, and she's like not actually going anywhere. But she thinks in her head that she's accomplishing these things, and all it is, you know, is just like getting in the way of you two being together. And that's tough. And IJ, you're patient, you know, you are like a saint, because I know that you want to be with her. It's just I hope she understands that sooner than later. You know what I mean? So yeah. You're very welcome. Let's take a look for James. You said, oof, that's heavy, Luna. I felt that dynamic at times with Patty. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, come on, just give in. Just like, just be open. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, Jamesy James. So, are we doing readings on Patty tonight? Oh, Kira. Yay! All right, what would you like tonight? Do you want like a channeled message from her? All right, channeled message, love to. All right, let's take a look here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get your channeled message going, so just bear with me for a little bit, and I'll let you know when I'm about halfway done, like, you know the drill, and then we'll do the full reading. So just sit tight while I work this out for you. Hey, James. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind. I had to run to the restroom, so that set me back like 3 or 4 minutes. But just wanted to let you know. So I'm still working, but one message that's coming in really strongly is actually so crazy. I think she wants to have a kid with you. Like, I don't know if you guys have talked about starting a family or something, but like having a child is something that's really, really heavy on her mind right now. And it's like just pregnancy vibes around you and her. I don't know if that's something you're interested or not. Maybe it's a little too soon for that, but like very strongly coming through. So I just wanted to tell you that it's not necessarily a message in your channeled message, but I feel like it would be like, I want to have a baby with you if it was. Like, I feel like that's what she would say. So just telling you that I'm picking that up. All right, I can see what you mean when you say that she just like things just flow really well with her, because I feel like she's just straightforward. Like I feel like that was probably one of the easiest channelings I've ever done. Just like a lot of really good feelings, I guess. So she says, every day with you brings me so much joy. I feel like I can be myself with you. You help heal me and my inner child, especially. I feel like we learn. Oh no, sorry. She says, every day with you brings me so much joy. I feel like I can be myself with you. You help heal me and my inner child, especially. I feel like we learn so much from each other and work together well. We make a good team. A lot of the times you just get me and read me well. I feel we are on the right track and have the same goals in mind. We are aligned. There are parts of me that hope you feel the same way as I do. I hope that you feel we are on the same page and your feelings are there for me. Mine gets stronger for you every day. So she's like, I think from her perspective, she's like, you know, we feel compatible. Like, you know, that's kind of what she's giving to the connection. She's like, we're compatible. I feel like we're on the same page. I think from her perspective, she's really hoping that you are just as into her as she feels that she's into you. I think she really is seeing a future here for your connection. I think she is very worried, though, about getting her heart broken, because I think that like she's building a lot of hope for your connection, and she's envisioning like a future together with you. And I think she's like, I don't know, she feels hopeful. She has no reason to believe that things are not going well. Like, she thinks everything's fine. But I think like when you put yourself out there, you can be like pretty scared, you know? You can feel like, oh my God, what if I get my heart broken? And I think that she, yeah, literally 3 of Swords. Like, I think she's really just trying to protect herself. So I think she's like, I really hope that we are seeing eye to eye. I really hope that, you know, he's not going to break my heart. Like, I feel that's kind of what she's saying. I think that she's very scared of that happening. Now, I don't think she believes you're going to do that, but I think that she's like really starting to recognize how much she feels for you. You know, if you guys haven't met each other's family yet, or you haven't like met friends and stuff, like I feel like that's what she wants to do. She wants public recognition. She wants to feel like, you know, everybody knows y'all are together. She wants to be known by the public perception that you guys are a couple. She might feel a little hesitant or a little reluctant to really believe your feelings for her, because maybe there's certain things that she's been kind of picking up on that she's like, I really hope he's into this as much as I am. But she's looking for public recognition is what I'm getting. She's like, he makes me feel all the things like when we're together, but I also want us to be like, you've met each other's families, you haven't met friends yet. Yeah. So she's like, when people think of me, I want them to think of us together in a relationship. When they think of him, I want them to think like us together. So I think she wants to be known as you guys are an item, you know. There's no James without Kira, no Kira without James kind of thing. And, you know, she's holding on to you rather tight. Like, she doesn't want to let this go. She's basically envisioning and building a future with you. And I think she's taking you very, very seriously. She's thinking about what's to come, lots of forward planning, lots of thinking what the outcome of this connection could be. Now, I do have a block or influence over the connection. I gotta throw it out there. The Three of Pentacles is here again. The Three of Pentacles showed up in your channeled message as well, but to me it read like you guys work really well together. You guys are aligned. You guys are on the same page. You guys work like, you guys just fit really well together. But in this reading as a block, again, that's third party energy that could be potentially interfering. Now, this isn't third party like romance. This is third party acquaintance or third party friends or third party whatever. So considering your situation, it could indicate that maybe you're not interested in the third party, who I know I'm talking about. You're not interested in this person romantically anymore, but they're still affecting your connection with her. So hopefully I'm making sense. If you need me to be more specific, let me know. The overall energy, I feel like she sees this going the distance. We have the World here, and she really feels like you guys can go far. She feels like you guys can go the distance. She feels complete. She found what she's looking for, what she's been looking for. She said her last relationship was very eerily similar to what you went through with Patty. So you think there's some fears from that, like a too good to be true. Yep, exactly. You're 100% correct because of that Three of Swords. It was funny because Three of Swords tried to come out, put it back in the deck. Then Five of Cups, put it back in the deck. Then Three of Swords again. And I was like, all right, I've got to take it because clearly she's having some fears surrounding this. Like you said, when is the shoe going to drop? She's probably holding her breath until she feels more secure in the relationship. She's, just trying to hang in there and hope for the best. All right. Was it always meant to be you and Kira and not Patty and you? Not necessarily. They're showing me that you have a really good fit with Kira and that your life is going to be a lot more easy, less turbulent. You'll find reciprocation with her. You guys are showing up as the lovers and the Knight of Cups. So this is like highly romantic, soulmate. Like this is definitely a connection that I think your spirit guides really, really want for you. But it doesn't necessarily mean that this is how it was supposed to be. I remember saying that your connection with Patty was divinely blessed, but not divinely intervening. You know what I mean? Not divine intervention. It was a matter of free will between the two of you. So I think that meant to be is kind of hard to define because I think that they would have been happy with you and Patty being together if that were to have happened the right way. So I think this is more having to do with the circumstances. This is more to do with the choices that were made and unfortunately not able to see that play out. And I think that you were doing a lot of work on your own and you were raising your vibration and you were trying to heal and move forward and you were probably manifesting and you weren't getting what you wanted over here. So then Kira came about and said, hey, if you want it, you can have it. So I think I don't necessarily believe, according to these cards, this is the way that it was supposed to happen. But I don't think that there was a way that it was supposed to happen. I think it was just a matter of circumstances and choices, and whatever you guys ended up doing was what you were going to do. Do I feel like Patty is more karmic, more twin flame, more like past life kind of stuff? Yes. I think Kira's new to you. I think Kira is a new soul. I don't think you guys have lived lives together necessarily. And if you have, it was probably very genuine and authentic and true, and more like a soulmate vibe rather than like you guys are going to be triggering each other into evolvement. But I do think, though, that if you guys go the distance and you guys spend the rest of your life together, I think you guys will find each other in future incarnations. Like, if you reincarnate, I think that you will continue to find each other. So, maybe the last life you had, maybe you guys cross paths, but I don't know. I don't, to me, intuitively, it doesn't feel like you guys have ever had a romantic life together the way that you and Patty have. I think you and Patty have been different things, different times. I think you've been a father to her. I think you've been a forbidden love. I think you have been just a lot of different things to each other. But I think with Kira, it doesn't feel, I feel like this is the first life that it's been romantic if you guys have had past lives together. Do you get what I mean? So I think that this is the life of really harnessing your free will, really learning from those things. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun to really dig into your destiny matrix to see about you, to see about Kira, or to see about you and Patty. And just kind of like look into the dynamics, maybe do like a comparison thing and see if anything that I'm feeling intuitively is playing out in your programs. But I feel like with Kira, you are going to get more of the traditional life you're looking for. I think you're going to get more out of this relationship than if you were to try to go down this road with Patty as things stand. So I hope that brings clarity to you. I don't necessarily feel like there was a supposed to be in this life for either of you. I think there's always different versions of you guys playing out. I think because you decided to be with Kira, I still think that in another timeline, you're still pursuing Patty. And I think every choice that you make, it's sending a ripple effect in time and it's playing itself out. But I think that in this circumstance, you're choosing Kira, and I think you're going to be very rewarded for that as well. I also wanted to throw in there for messages from Spirit about your guys' future together, that you have the family card and you also have the pregnancy card again with the sun. So I do think that your lineage could be fulfilled with her if you chose for that to happen. I remember getting some kind of weird impression, like in one of your other readings, that if you and Patty got together, it would just be to have a child together. And then maybe that would fulfill your karma together or something. But I just feel like you're going to be a lot more rewarded with Kira. Like, I just think you're going to have an easier, more fulfilling life. You're going to be happier. I think that things are going to feel more optimistic, more happy. Your energy will flow better. You can achieve more things that you set out to do because you have that support system in her to have the life that you want. Let's see. I think that, because I've got the family home, I've got the home, the business. I kind of feel like you guys have like a single family home at some point with kids and animals. For some reason, I see you having your own studio as well. You have your own studio. So it's like somehow your career evolves into like you having your own place. You have your own clients. that come to you. It feels like you have a studio on your property. This is a big plot of land I'm getting. So maybe you are like upstate New York at some point, or you move out of the state or something, but I'm getting like a larger plot of land, and you have like a separate studio that's near to your home. I don't know if that's the goal, but I feel like you get to a point where you don't want to commute anymore, and you've built your clientele up quite a bit where you can use this. It's almost like feels like it almost feels like an expo center. Like you might do other things, like you might be hosting your own spiritual retreats, and maybe you host like those events where people come and do like the pop-up tents and things like that on your property. Like I almost feel like this is almost like a multifunctional building on your property. But I feel like you have this like established family with her. You know, you have this support system. You are very rich in love and personal happiness, but you also are very like well established financially. You said you didn't feel like you had a past life together. Yeah, I'm just like, I think if anything, you guys might have crossed paths, you know, but I don't know. I'm not intuitively feeling like a past life for you guys. This feels like a very clean, fresh slate. And it feels like just very healthy, very good. Tell me more about their future together. What does Kira do for a living? Because I'm picking up on something that she's also doing, but it feels like she goes part-time. Like once you guys start family planning and stuff, she starts going part-time. Or maybe she shifts to a different form of income, but she doesn't have to work as much or something. But I feel like whatever she's doing, she wants to do. It's not like she has to do it. It's like she wants to do it. Does she have like a passion, or is her current job something that she's really passionate about? Because I feel like I'm for some reason getting like 20 hours a week, or like maybe even less than that. It feels like there's something that she's doing to generate her own income, but it's more like a passion project or something that she really actually enjoys and wants to do. I also think you guys are traveling quite a bit. Like you have your home. I want to say homestead. That sounds weird. I want to say homestead, but you have your home base, but you also are doing a lot of traveling as well. I feel like there's this desire for your family to be well cultured. So I think you guys are going off like quite a bit throughout the year and exploring new places together. Maybe some in the country, maybe some out of the country. I don't really know, but it feels like travel is involved. Um, and then the last card that I have is the Hierophant, which makes me feel like there's certain aspects to your relationship that isn't like, you know, traditional gender norm roles. Like there's going to be certain aspects of the relationship that you might do, that you want to do, that might be more like the wife's job or the mother's job, quote unquote. And then vice versa. Like she might want to get out there, you know, and mow the lawn, and you might be like, oh, I'll make dinner. Like there's like a swapping of gender norms here, but it feels like it works really well for you guys. That's so crazy because that's what it looks like on your property, is like a warehouse. You said she works at a warehouse. She used to be medical assistant and phlebotomist, but the plan for when she moves here is to be a manager at the office. You work at doing the scheduling and also the phlebotomy, doing IV drips. Wait, hold on. Should she moves here, she's to be a manager at the office, work at doing scheduling and the phlebotomy, doing IV. Okay. Yes, we just went away to Fort Lauderdale last week. We definitely want to be traveling together more. Oh, that's so cool. I have an inside joke with Fort Lauderdale. When my nephew was like 3 or 4, he says he has a lisp and he says certain words really cute. And we were like, "Can you say guacamole?" You know, there's a video I have. And so we're asking him to say different words. And Brendan was like, "Can you say Fort Lauderdale?" I don't know where that came from or why he suggested my nephew say Fort Lauderdale. But then Nathan goes, "Huh? Fort Lauderdale?" And he's like, "I like Fort Lauderdale." And that sticks with me because it was like kind of funny that he said he likes Fort Lauderdale, because I'm like, dude, you never been? Like he's never been there before. But the other thing, I was like, is that a past life like thing? Like, was he saying I've been there and I like it there? But yeah, so Fort Lauderdale is kind of like an inside joke in our family. I don't think I've ever been there before, but that sounds really cool. Like I definitely see you guys doing a lot more traveling together, but there's like a home base situation that happens, and I almost feel like you guys are working together to make this happen. He said that's already kind of happened, or sorry, that's already kind of played out at times, the swapping of masculine and feminine roles. Yeah, I definitely see that happening. But it works. Like I said, it works really well for you guys. So that's what I have, James, for your reading. I really, really enjoyed tapping into her energy. I've got to say, this was like very, very enjoyable. She seems like a sweetheart. She really seems to care about you. And like, yeah, I'm excited for you. I feel like you manifest each other. She's everything you want. You romanticize Patty and your relationship together being, and she had scripted what she wanted in a relationship, and you checked all her boxes. Yeah, that's called manifestation for sure. That's definitely what that is. I was reminiscent on something that my brother and I did when he broke up with his ex. We were in New York and he was packing up, because my brother lived in the city, and we were in New York and we were packing up his stuff. And to kind of like, it was hard for him, you know, he was ending like a 2-year relationship. And I was like, you know what? I was like, and this guy kind of did him dirty. So we were like, forget him. Like, let's move on. We wrote down like a whole entire list of every single thing. I was like, be as specific as you want to be. Because he goes, well, I want someone who like, you know, plays games. And I was like, no, you want someone who plays board games, not games. Because I was like, with manifestation, you have to be very specific, because you might find a player if you put plays games, or someone who's not like very like straightforward and like, you know, whatever. So I was like, so we're making a whole list. He's like, he looks like this and he has this type of personality and he's a family person and I really like his family. He really likes my family. Like, we're getting really, really, really specific. And 2 years goes by and he meets someone out on a family vacation that we were on. Neither of them lived in this state, and they happened to meet in a state that neither of them lived in. And now they're together, and he was like, he checks every single box for me. Like, it's crazy. It took 2 years, but he's like, I found it. And he was like, and the thing is that I kept declining every single thing that was coming for me because it wasn't checking my boxes. And he's like, but this person actually did. And he's like, that is just so insane to me. So I really feel like you can manifest that. I really, really do. I think that you can say it out loud or you can write it down. And I think that you can find that person that you're looking for. I did it. You've clearly done it. My brother has done it. It's real. It's very, very real. So that's my little 2 cents on it, James. I really look forward to you guys just kind of moving forward in your connection. This is what I want for you. So I really hope that it's something that you want for yourself as well. Gonna go ahead and sign off for the night, but I will see you when I see you. I'll be on again a couple more times this week. So I hope you have a good night. Thank you for your donation, stopping in and saying hi. And anybody else that's hanging out, I will see you guys next time. Have a good night.